What's up, guys? Just giving you a little context here in case you don't know who Ron Placone is or what Get Your News On with Ron is, or if you don't know who Peter Douche is, or even Peter Dow. But what, just real quick, Ron Placone is a comedian who he's also on the Jimmy Dore show, if you're familiar with Jimmy Dore, maybe. But anyway, Ron has his own show called Get Your News On with Ron, where he basically you tweet him a news article and he'll read it on the live stream that he does 10 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesday through Friday. And then, for context purposes, Peter Douche is actually a parody account of Peter Dow, who is a political strategist for the Democratic Party. He worked for the Kerry campaign uh, during the 2006 election. Yeah, 2004 election. I'm sorry. And then he worked on the Hillary Clinton campaign in 2008, and he also worked on the Hillary Clinton campaign in 2016. Both, so he lost three times. And Peter Douche is just a parody account of Peter Dow, and he basically just makes fun of democratic neoliberal policies and talking points, and it, it's a parody account, just to let you know. So now that you have all that context, um, during one of the streams with Get Your News On with Ron, he had Peter Douche as a guest, and um, my question was asked, and I asked a question in the chat, and he asked the question. So I'm just gonna play that, and that's it. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Peace.
What's your take on pot, by the way? What is Peter Douche's stance on marijuana policy?
Well, it's still up in the air. We're focus grouping it, but we do have a plan.
What do these
If
focus groups consist of?
a lot of guys getting high, but publicly, that's a different situation. What we're looking at is possibly in 2020, if we're really behind in the millennials, if they still don't support us, we're going to offer free weed.
Really? That's how you're going to try to get the millennials?
Well, I mean, it almost worked for Jill Stein, so we can offer it.
I don't recall Jill Stein offering free weed at any point. When did that happen?
Well, she would have. We both know this.
How do you know that?
Well, I saw her interview on the Young Turks.
Um, Mr. The Daily Dope Show wants to know, this is getting back to our conversation on pot. How do you feel about all those hippie Republicans who are trying to legalize the pot? Mr. Douche, some Republicans are now further to the left than the Democrats, a lot of the Democrats, when it comes to pot now. Isn't that totally archaic? The fact that marijuana was ever designated a Schedule One drug is just because of nonsensical propaganda. Clearly, there are so many benefits. The drug war is just benefiting the for-profit prison industry. Isn't it sad that at this point, even though a lot of the Republicans are just doing it for financial reasons, but nonetheless, and by a lot I mean all, but nonetheless, isn't that ridiculous that they're getting out-lefted by the Republicans on this? That's insane, right?
Wrong again.
Why?
Look, did you see Democratic rising star Joe Kennedy? His recent speech. So he made a very salient point. If you get rid of some of the marijuana laws, it's going to be a lot harder to do illegal search and seizures, and that's going to affect the crime rates. And at the end of the day, we need to appeal to a lot of Republicans, and this is a good way.
Don't you think Joe Kennedy was just speaking out of his own self-interest, though, Mr. Douche? He accepts a lot of money from Big Pharma, which is still the number one enemy of cannabis. Don't you think that's why he was saying the things he was saying? Because he's pretty much bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical industry?
Well, I would put it another way. Who do you think knows more about drugs than the big pharma industry?